To our viewers and members of Davao City Alliance Gospel Church who are watching on our Facebook live stream right now, welcome to our midweek prayer meeting. Our text for today is found in the book of Psalm chapter 5, verses 1 to 5, that says in verse 1, "Listen to my words, Lord, consider my lament." Verse 2, "Hear my cry for help, my King and my God, for to you I pray." In verse 3, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly." Verse 4, "For you are not a God who is pleased with wickedness. With you, evil people are not welcome." Verse 5, "The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong." My friends, if we think through of what we have been experienced last year, we can simply say that after 2020, we were all ready for a fresh start when 2020 turned into 2021. Yet again, when we begin to compare the end of last year with the beginning of this one, we may be asking how 2021 will be any different. It seems the pain from 2020 has spilled over. We are still in the messy middle of a pandemic, so it may be hard to have hope for a new start in the midst of unprecedented suffering. What can we do? A better question may be, how do we respond? We lament. In the Bible, to lament means to grieve, to literally cry out to God with our pain and our sorrow. Lamenting became very personal to me in 2019 after the sudden loss of my late mother. In a recent article regarding the pandemic, theologians in New Testament, David P. Simat, mentioned that Christians do not grieve well. Why? We tend to brush over things that are painful. We want a quick fix or a soundbite to make right what went wrong in the world or in our lives. What would rather escape our pain than face it? Yet, when Jesus was confronted with pain and inexplicable suffering, He leaned in. You see, God did not shield His own Son from suffering. He allowed Him to experience it personally. And because of this, Jesus intimately knows how we feel. He knows the deep hurt we experience in our suffering. And He wants us to lean into Him. Because Jesus understands, we can pray really honest prayer. We can tell Him how hard these seasons of suffering has been for us and for those we love. Our heartfelt cries do not diminish our faith. Rather, they build our hope in God. As we invite God into our suffering, we declare that we trust Him to help. We admit our dependence on Him to move in our lives and rebuild each step along the way. Okay, my friends, but how do we learn to grieve? My friends, a great place to start is by reading through the Psalms. Try reading Psalm chapter 13, Psalm chapter 22, Psalm chapter 42, Psalm chapter 43, or 44. These are the example of prayers of grief and sorrow. As you read, pay attention to the word the psalmist uses. Look for how he honestly cries out about what is wrong, how he declared trust in God and despite how he feels, how he asks for help and follows with praises to God. Now, don't misunderstand. Praising God doesn't mean his problems instantly disappeared, but it does demonstrate how the psalmist places his hope in God regardless of the outcome. My friends, God cares deeply and personally for us. We can be honest with Him about the pain in our lives and in the world. Let's cry out to God and find hope together. Let's cry out to God and find hope together. Have a blessed week, my friends.